Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to you, wherever you may be watching me from tonight. I want to welcome you to tonight's episode of Chat with Themmy. We had a great time yesterday, and um, today I have a question for you. Okay, um, it may look like a very simple question, but I want you to think about it. I wanted to provoke your thoughts before you make an attempt to answer. All right. So, in as much as it may sound simple, I want you to think about it. Tonight, I'm going to be talking to us based on these questions and be sharing my insights as usual on what I think about this particular question and how it relates to um, aspects of our lives. Okay. So tonight question is, what is in your hands? What do you have in your hands? Okay. Oh, Instagram is not live here. Tonight question is, what do you have in your hand? Whether you're already in the morning, whether it's midnight on your end, whether it's already afternoon, I want to say welcome to tonight's Chat with Temming episode. Tonight's episode of Chat with Temming. But the question for discussion today is simple yet very deep. I don't want you to look at it on the surface, all right? So what is in your hand? Have you sat down and asked yourself? Because uh I am one person who believes that before we came to this life, before we came into this world, God did not leave us empty handed. I believe we were created by God. I don't know what your belief system is, but I'm a Christian and I believe we're all created in the image of God and we're all created by Him. Okay? And I'm also of the opinion that when God was creating us, or before we were put in our mother's womb, as He said in the book of Jeremiah, that before we were a form or before we were even clots of blood in our mother's womb, He knew us. And I believe before then, God has deposited in each of us, okay? God has deposited in each of us a seed of greatness. But have you acknowledged what God has deposited in you? Have you come to the place where you say, this is what God has given me, okay? This is what God has given me. This is how I'm going to use it. This is how I'm going to multiply it. The reason why I chose this question tonight is sometimes we get frustrated simply because we're looking at what other people have in their hands and we're like, well, why is my own story different? Or why is my own happening this way? If you go back to the Bible, Jesus told the parable of a man who was a master who was going on a faraway journey, and then he gave each of his servants talents to manage. He gave two, he gave five, he gave one. And then the one with one was like, but this other person has five, this other person has two. Why was I given one? So instead of him to go ahead and invest that or invest in himself to be able to apply the multiplied effect, he said no. He buried that. Okay. And when he buried that, when he buried that, he was like, I'm done. I can't do this. Meanwhile, they were all giving talents. So I want you to ask yourself tonight, what is in your hands? What is it that God has given you? What is that one thing that you're good at? What is that one thing that comes naturally to you? What is in your hands? The Bible said God told us that He will bless the work of our hands. Our hands are not empty. If our hands were empty, God would not tell us that He will bless the work of our hands. Okay? So, even if you don't have something tangible now, there's a potential within you to create something tangible, to create something of substance. There is that potential in you. What are you doing with that? Have you recognized what is in your hands? Do you know what is in your hands? If you know, how are you using what is in your hands? What are you doing with it? How is the thing you're holding, how is it impacting your life for the better? Ask yourself, what is in my hand? What am I good at? What gift, what talent have I been given? What potential do I need to harness? What talent do I need to hone? What skills do I need to sharpen? You're not empty-handed. No, you are not empty-handed. Okay? We all came to this world with something. We all came to this world. We're all in this world with something. But how you use what you have says a lot. Okay? And then tonight I'm talking from twofold. Now I want to talk about the multiplier effect. Okay? Zero times anything is zero. Zero times anything in this life is zero. So you cannot multiply anything if you do not recognize what you have, or if you do not have something to bring to the table to use. That cannot be multiplied. Thank you for joining wherever you're watching from, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm very excited that you're joining tonight. Thanks for spending your quality time with me tonight, and uh, um, I hope this impacts your life in a positive way. All right. So, what is it you're holding? What did you come to this world with? For someone, they're good at public speaking. They don't need to stretch their head before they take a mic to start talking. For somebody, they're good at team building. For someone, they're very good at conflict resolution. Some people have great listening skills. Some people are very good at persuasion or negotiation. Some people, they're great connectors. Some people, they're great networker. They get into a room and they're the life of the party. So, what is it that you have? What is in your hands? Ask yourself this question. What is in your hand? What are you holding? Whatever you're holding, what are you using it for? How is it impacting your life? How is it impacting the world around you? I want you to ask yourself that. Do you know what you're holding? If you understand and know what you're holding, how are you using that to impact the world? How are you sharpening that to shape your surrounding or to impact your surrounding in a positive way? Like I said, none of us was made empty-handed. No, none of us were made empty-handed. Okay? We all have something. What comes naturally to you? How are you investing in that thing to multiply that? If you do not have anything to show, you cannot multiply that. You need to first acknowledge the gift that you have. Then you take the next step. Are you good at it? Are you good at that? If you're not so good at it, how can you sharpen that? If you're not good at it, how can you sharpen it? But first thing first, what is in your hands? Okay? So ask yourself, what am I holding? And sometimes it's your experience that will allow you to recognize what is in your hands. Sometimes, like for instance, you've heard this a lot of times. They say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. How do you make lemonade out of lime? That out of lemon, that lemon needs to be squeezed. Who is the squeezer? Sometimes the squeezer is your experience. Until the lemon squeezed and all the particles thrown away, the juice is not gonna come out. If you don't squeeze the lemon, you will never know what's inside the lemon. Neither would you know what to mix with what to give you lemonade. Any flavor of lemonade. So what is it you're holding? What has God given to you? Remember, remember the story in the Bible when Jesus went to the wedding, the first miracle he ever did, when he went to the wedding, they had something. They had to have something. They ran out of wine, but they had water there. They had water available. It wasn't readily available in the drums or in the barrels. No, they had to go fetch the water. You think Jesus could not speak the water into existence the way he turned the water into wine? You think he could not miraculously produce water to be able to use that? But you have a lot to do. You have to first recognize what you have. You have to first acknowledge that I have this. Now you need to take action to get it somewhere to be able to experience that multiplier effect. Thank you, Aaron. Okay? So when they fetched the water and put it in the barrel, then Jesus was able to turn that into wine. When the multitude were with Jesus and they were hungry, what happened? Before Jesus turned the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes into food for the entire multitude to feed on till they had leftovers, there had to be someone who had something that could be used. So now I am asking you tonight, what is in your hand? What are you holding? What is in your hand that is supposed to be used to change your life? What? Are you good at public speaking? Are you a coachable person? Are you good at teaching others? Are you good at simplifying things for others to absorb very easily and be able to tap into their zone of genius? What are you holding? Are you good at selling? Are you good at talking to people? Are you good at bringing people together in a room to connect? Are you good at pointing people in the right direction? Are you good at spotting talent? You must have something in your hands. If you don't have anything, what's the work of your hand that God's supposed to bless? You have to have something. And the good thing about God is He did not leave us empty handed. He created us, He gave each of us something. The thing is, here's the thing. I've always believed that each of us have been given different levels of grace. And the grace that God has applied on our lives, that grace have different seasons of activation. For instance, I like to use this scenario pretty much because a lot of times people overlook these things. Say for instance you have a spouse or you're married or you have a partner, okay? And that person only them God is just opening doors for. Only the person God is opening doors for. Okay? And then you're like, oh, why is this right? Why is it only you? Are you the only person here? Why is it only you that God is doing things for? Why is it only you that things are working out for? Until you understand that that person's grace has been activated, that person's season of manifestation will never benefit you. It will never. I don't care who you are. If you do not recognize the grace of God on someone's life, it can never benefit you. All right? So each of us, we have grace deposited on our lives. We have seed of greatness planted in us, but we need to acknowledge that. We need to come to the place where we are acknowledging that this person, their time has come. And sometimes you are delaying yourself because if that person has a part to play in your story, And you, until you recognize that place you're trying to get level up from, you will never level up from there, because you are stepping on your own ground. You are stepping on your own toes. You are not making yourself to move. So, because the thing is, whatever is in your hands, there has to come a right time and seasons that will place things in order. When everything has finally aligned, when lines have fallen in pleasant places for you, then your manifestation is unlocked. But first and foremost, it starts with you recognizing what you have. You can never use what you don't know you have. Never. You can never utilize what you have not acknowledged, or you can never benefit from what you have not acknowledged. So I want to ask you tonight. You don't have to answer me. I want you to think about it. What is in your hand? What are you holding? What can God multiply? If you say, Father Lord, I come to you just as I am without one plea. Hey, really? But you cannot come with zero. How does God want to bless you? How does God want to multiply whatever you're holding? His promise is his promise. He said, I will bless the works of your hand. What is the work of your hand? What is the work of your hand? What what have you seen in yourself that is natural? Are you a good talker? Are you someone who knows how to speak seasoned words to people at the right times when they need it? What are you doing with that? Are you a great natural cook? Are you a great hairstylist? Are you a great barber? There's this guy called Crew Cuts. He's on Facebook. It's with the K. I think he's a Trinidadian. This guy, apparently he barbs. I don't know if he barbs just like both men and women hair, but he really does a lot of good work with females. And every time I come across his content online, right? Um, what comes to my mind is, it is not about him being a barber. There's so many barbers. There are people who travel from countries. The other time he posted something, this lady had come from Canada for him to barb her hair. For me, it's not the barbing. All right? It is not about the cutting of the hair. It's not about that. You can literally see through his videos how these people walk in their first encounter versus when he's done with them, and then he's unveiling themselves like okay, have a first look after your hair has been done. Is the expression in their face, is the joy on their faces, is the genuine happiness that they have. And I bet it's the conversations that go on in between him preparing their hair for whatever design of style they came to do. Because some of these women will walk into that place very gloomy and down, and they will leave very happy, like something had been uncovered in them. It's not, you could just walk into a salon, do your hair, and be gone. But he has recognized, other than just being a barber, maybe he learned how to barb hair, or maybe that's natural to him. But the genuine conversations he have with his customers in between their hairstyling, I'm not sure he learned that from someone. But he had to recognize that he had that in his hand. And now the world is seeing him manifest his gifts. He's not just a barber. No, he's not just a barber. All right? So I want to ask you, what are you holding? What is in your hands? What has God deposited within you? What has God deposited within you? And the thing is, God will not give you a gift or a talent that you cannot handle. When Jesus spoke about the man that was traveling and he gave his servants talents, right? Guess what? The Bible said he gave unto them according to several abilities based on what you have. All right? What's your ability? What are you capable of? What are you not capable of? He was able to align the talents with their strengths, with their capabilities. What can they do? What can they not do? So, for all you know, the one that had one talent, maybe that's the only thing he could handle. Okay? Maybe that's the only thing he could handle. But why? He did not recognize that this is my strength, this is my limit for now. I'm growing. Let me acknowledge that this is how much I can take. And let me not start eyeing or being jealous of people who can handle this much responsibility. Okay? You need to acknowledge what's in your hands. After you might have acknowledged that, then you ask yourself, what can I do with this? Okay? You ask yourself, what can I do with this? How can I multiply this? All right? If you do not know what's in your hands, there's absolutely no way you can use it. Okay? So now let's look at where is this? I'm coming. Let me grab my hands. So let's talk about talents that God has given us. All right? Some people have very great leadership skills. Some people have the gifts of prophesying. Some people have the gifts of miracles. Some people are very hospitable. Some people are very helpful. Some people are encouraging. Some people have the gift of discernment. We don't have everything. Some people have multiple. Some people have multiple gifts. Some people have just one. I come from a family where my sisters sing. My mother sings. I don't sing. No, I don't. I can try. I can make a joyful noise unto the Lord. But I'm not a good singer. When they're calling people who can really sing, where am I going? I ain't going nowhere. Does it mean I'm not talented? Does it mean I'm not good at something? No. That is just not my place. So if they are counting all the people in this life or all the people in my family that can sing, I will not raise my hand. It doesn't make me less talented. You need to understand what you have and what you don't have. When they are counting people that can dance in my house, I know sabi dance. You know me say I know they talented. You know? When they're counting who writes, I raise my two hands. I can write at least. At least the word I've written a book before. I've published a book before. I'm an author. And I've written several poems. I know I've sat in some rooms that, were unlocked because of my writing. So to some extent, I'll say I'm a good writer. But ask yourself, what can you do? What do you have in your hands? What? What do you have? What do you have in your hands that can be multiplied? Are you good at singing? Are you good at speaking soothing and encouraging words to people? Do you have discernment? How are you using that? How are you using that? All right? If you do not recognize what you have, it will not benefit you. If you do not recognize what you have, it's not going to benefit you. You need to recognize what you have so you know the level of investment you have to make. Because some people just go right off the bat. You would come across someone who can really sing, and you would come across someone who has the potential, but they need to be guided in the right way. You've seen all these auditions: America Got Talent, Britain Got Talent, The Voice, this Yellow Star, the Icons, different things, right? Different platforms are giving to people who can sing. There's some people who have really great vocal control. There's some people who have really great stage presence. There's some people who have really powerful voices, but the judges will tell them, you need to work on this, you're going off a little bit. Doesn't mean they're not talented. It means they need to understand what they have in their hands and know where to put their level of investment. If you have a good vocal control or range, whatever they call it, a vocal range control, if you know how to switch in between notes or switch in between keys, high, low, whatever in between, but maybe you're someone who don't have a good stage presence, you don't have to go work on your vocal range. What you need to invest in is your stage presence, or maybe the way you connect with the audience, or something like that. I'm just using that as an example. So when you understand what you have in your hands, then you know where to apply what level of investment, where to invest heavily, where to know that you're almost okay here, so you're good to go, and stuff like that. All right. So think about this tonight. I'll be wrapping up shortly, but I want you to think about it. Thank you for joining time. Thanks for joining, Alvin. Thank you very much, Aaron. You need to understand what you have. You need to acknowledge what's in your hands. Once you're able to acknowledge what's in your hands, then you understand that, okay, am I good? Do I need to, shape anything? Do I need to work on something? What can I do to get it to this level? What can I do to be able to multiply this to impact the world positively or to impact my own life positively? What can I do? Okay? But if you do not recognize what's in your hands, or you do not recognize what you have, you may have it and it may not benefit you because you don't have the knowledge of it. You've not acknowledged that you have it. When you understand what you have, when you're praying to God for breakthrough or for elevation or something, then say, Father Lord, this gift of singing you have given me, I bring it back to you. You said my gift will not take me before just mere men. It will take me before kings. Then you know what you're praying for. Cannot come to Father Lord that I don't have any potential of singing. I want to just give God hard time. Daddy Lord, please open my vocal cord. Let me sing, let me sing, let me sing. Instead of saying, Father Lord, these writing skills you have given me, give me inspiration. Let me write healing words that will impact people's life positively. No, I'm shouting because my sisters can sing. My younger sister can sing. My younger sister can play the piano. So me too, I want to go and play piano. It's not like that. You need to acknowledge what you have. You need to acknowledge what you have. You may not be an outgoing person. You may be someone who just like to be in the back and make things happen. And cover the loopholes. I worked with someone before. This girl, I don't know if she recognized her gift or what she's like. It comes naturally to her. She knows how to close loopholes. Like administratively, she doesn't drop the ball. She's very good at it. I don't know if she knows that. but she really knows how to keep the back ends, like she knows how to keep the back ends working, so that the people at the front end can stay in their zone of genius and operate. But like I said, I don't know if she knows that. Because the thing is, if you do not recognize what you have, you will not place value on that thing. If you do not place value on your gift, so other people will not place value on it. Okay? So as we wrap up tonight, I want to wish you a blessed new week. I know it's new week for a lot of people. It's 11 p.m. on my end, so I'm still in May 19th. Um, I want to say thank you all for joining me from LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you for being a part of tonight's episode. I hope this was a blessing to you. Um, I'll see you tomorrow, Sunday. I wish you all the best as you step into the new week. May you recognize the gift that you have in your hands. May you place value on the gift that you have recognized that you have. May you use your gift to impact the world in a positive way. May you use your gift to change lives. May your gifts take you before kings and not just mere men. I wish you a wonderful week ahead. I hope you have uh, a fulfilling week, and I hope you have a pleasant night, pleasant day, pleasant afternoon, pleasant morning. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.